In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a vintage Pokemon bundle that I bought for £20 that could potentially be worth thousands. Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video today. Something that I've never really done on this channel just yet. Today we're going to be looking at a vintage bundle that I picked up for roughly around £20, probably about 1 to 2 months ago, something like that. So the story goes, I wanted to buy some vintage cards, of course. So I put a message out on Facebook to all my friends and family and said, look, if you guys have any old Pokemon cards, I'd be willing to buy them off you. Just let me know. And an old friend of mine, probably a really old friend of mine actually, somebody I was friends with probably when I was a kid, somebody who lived in the same street as me, sent me a message and said, hey, look, I've got some Pokemon cards, here's a picture, I probably want about £20 for them. And the deal was good, but the picture he sent me didn't actually show all the cards he actually had. So the cards I thought I were getting were a few good ones, a few uncommons, a few rares, but nothing to quite what I got handed over, which was a massive shock. So I went to his house, picked up the cards. I literally saw the card on the front, which was one that was in the picture, which was a Misty's Tentacruel from Gym Heroes. And I handed him the money, took it back. I didn't even look at the cards when I got there. And it hit me to how much these cards are actually worth and how much they could even be worth if I sent them to PSA. So I'm going to show you these cards. Bear in mind that these cards have never been in any folder. They've never been in any sleeves. I've sleeved up all the good cards that they were, but I got a really good deal on these cards, and some of these are actually PSA worthy. So where to start? I think what we'll do is we'll start with base set first, since obviously base set's the oldest, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the best to last, which isn't base set in my opinion. There's some really good cards in I think it's Gym Heroes is the set. It's one of the, or Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge. It might be a mixture of both. But there's a really good set of cards just in that set that they had. So here are some comments. So we got a Farfetch common. We got Porygon, Rattata. We got a Dragonite, which is a rare card. These aren't in good condition, these common cards at all. They're in pretty bad condition. Ponyta, Growlithe, and we got an Arcanine as well. So they're not the obviously most expensive base set cards you can get. Obviously the base set starters are pretty much the most expensive cards that you can get, but they're still pretty good. I always forget that Dragonairs are rare in this set as well. So strange how they used to decide it. The Dragonairs are rare, but Arcanine is a uncommon card. Super strange, but they're the sort of base set ones that I got. But then I got the holographics. So we have a Mewtwo holo. Now I'm just going to raise this up to the camera a little bit because I want you two guys to sort of grasp how good these cards are. Like, this Mewtwo is in fantastic condition. It's got a bit of whitening, don't get me wrong, around the bottom of the card and at the top corner there. So it's not like PSA worthy or PSA like 10 at all. Probably not a 7, 8, 9 or 10 because, you know, it's massively top to bottom here as well and left to right. So it's not the most best condition card, but some of these cards that you're going to see are really good, in really good condition. So if I wanted to send that, I'd probably get a 4 or something, a PSA 4 on that. The Magneton. Now, a lot of these a lot of these holos, back in the day, have scratches all over them. This Magneton has a few. It doesn't have many. It's got probably 10 scratches on, 10 small scratches on, and a print line as well. So again, not another 10, but this card is actually in some really, really good condition. Again, we've got a bit of problem on the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that. And a bit of a problem in the corner. But again, another really good card. Zapdos, which is probably the worst condition card in the set. It's really bad, as you can see there on the corners. It's lost a lot of the foil, and it's really dirty on the back as well. So not the greatest card there, but we got a Gyarados as well. So if you see here, Gyarados has quite a lot of scratches on the holographic. I'm not sure if you can see that there. But the actual card itself is in fairly good condition. There's not much whitening on the back at all. I reckon that's a solid 7. I really do think that's a solid 7. We've got Poliwrath, obviously the most unwanted holographic card in base set. Again, not great condition here around the corner. You can see some hollow bleed there. And it's pretty dirty as well, which is going to happen for a guy that's had these cards in his set, which he did. Not in any sleeves. I'm surprised they're not in worse condition. We've got a really good looking Ninetales here, but it is really scratched on the hollow, so obviously this has been passed around, and you can see the hollow bleed around the edges there as well. But the back of the card is very, very nice. There's no whitening at all that can be seen on that. So again, a really nice card. And lastly, this is one that I've had in my set for a while, but I thought I'd just throw it in. An Alakazam holographic. And what I'll do is I'll try to include some prices of what these sell for. Maybe in PSA, I don't know if I'll do that, but I'll definitely include what they sell for a standard. This one's got whitening around the edges as well. So that's the base set cards that I got. So I got some really good base set cards. I already obviously made my money just on those cards there. Let's have a look. So I've got some base set 2 as well. So we did get the base set 2 Pikachu, which is obviously very collectible. Base set 2 Pidgey, Lickitung, Marowak, and I got the Venusaur as well, which is crazy. Plenty of scratches on the hollow on this one as well. And let's have a look at the back. Back looks pretty good. Bit of a whitening nick up the top there. Probably a PSA 5, 6 or 7 around that edge. But yeah, again, base set 2. If you don't know, it's a mixture of Fossil, Jungle and base set as well. So speaking of Jungle, I'll go through some Jungle cards that I got as well. So again, plenty of commons. Cubone, Dodrio. We got the Butterfree. Vaporeon, which is a rare. Scyther, which is a rare. Persian. Rapidash. The hollows now, we've got Victreebel, holographic, and I think Jungle's, I can't remember what Jungle's best card is. And we got a Pinsir as well. Now the Pinsir looks really, really good condition. It's got a few, it's not many scratches, but it's got a few print lines on there. And no real whitening on the card, no real damage to the card. And the Victreebel as well. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, plenty of scratches on that card, unfortunately. But there you are. Again, a very nice condition. It's crazy how these cards are like 20 years old and he's just been probably sat. They've even moved house with him because I picked them up from his house that he lives in as an adult. Obviously not the house that he lived in as a child, which was crazy. Okay, some fossil cards next. So we have the Magneton, which is a non-holo rare. Raichu, non-holo rare. We've got the Golduck. We've got the Zapdos, which is non-holographic rare, but we also have the holographic rare Zapdos and Muk as well. In terms of this Zapdos condition, it is pretty immaculate. There's no print lines, there's no scratching on the holo on this one at all, but there is holo bleeds down the edge here, so it's not fantastic and it's massively left to right. But I think that could be a solid PSA 8, maybe a 9, maybe a 9. I'm not a PSA wizard or, you know, I just don't have a lot of experience with PSA cards, but, you know, from what they're based on, I could make a really good judgment on that one. And the Muk card as well has a few scratches on the holo. Obviously, Muk is not the best card, but again, no whitening on the back, so it could be a solid 7 or 8, that one. It's got a little bit of bending as well. Okay, so we're getting on to some of my favourite sets now. So the second best set that I think, well, my second favourite set is, I'm just going to put the holographics down like that and we'll go through these because there's a lot of commons. But I got a Dark Persian, Dark Machoke, Dark Dragonair, this time uncommon, Dark Golduck, a lot of people's favourite where he's doing the laser beam from his head, a Dark Kadabra, Dark Wartortle. We've got the Dark Muk, Dark Slowbro, Dark Machamp, Dark Gyarados, Dark Alakazam, Dark Hypno, Dark Rapidash. We've got the Dark Dragonite, which is not the Eri version. That was one of the first things I looked for, but non-holo. Dark Dugtrio, Dark Magneton. We've got Dark Jolteon, Vaporeon and Flareon, and we got the Dark Charizard and the Dark Blastoise non-holographics as well. So two of the big hitters in the non-holo. This non-holo sells for like £40 itself, which wasn't the case at the time when I bought it. When I bought these cards, I think it was worth about £10 or something, and then obviously the big boom increased, and then you know, prices went up and everything. In terms of the holographics I got, so these are the 3 holographic, but this one obviously is the beauty right here. The Dark Dragonite, the Dark Dragonite. There's a bit of scratching on the holo, not much at all, just a little bit. The card has no whitening that can be seen on the front, a little bit on the back here, but I think that's definitely a solid 7 or 8 PSA. So just for that, it might be worth sending. Dark Vileplume. A lot of you don't know, Vileplume's one of my favourite Pokemon of all time. Believe it or not, it's such a weird thing. I've shown you before. I have a PSA Erica's Vileplume as well that I sniped off of eBay a few months ago, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, for £14. If you look at the price on this, it's ridiculous now. It's probably worth, you know, 70, 80, maybe £100 or something like that. I don't know why I showed it to that camera, but if you want to see, there you are. That's that one. We got Dark Vileplume, which is, again, it's covered in scratches, but I'm not really super upset with the scratches on the holographic. And a Dark Arbok, which I already had one, but I actually just sent one to a friend quite recently. Okay, now, saving best to last. I'm going to definitely do that here. I'm just going to put the holographics that face down. And it's the Gym Hero / Gym Challenge set. So I got, this was basically the most cards that were involved in any of the sets that he had. So we got a Blaine's Vulpix and a Growlithe, Blaine's Dodrio, Giovanni's Pinsir, Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu, which is very, very sought after, Blaine's Rapidash, Lieutenant Surge's Spearow, Koga's Arbok, Lieutenant Surge's Electrode, Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, Jolteon and Electabuzz, Sabrina's Kadabra, Sabrina's Haunter. Love that artwork. That artwork is fantastic. Brock's Vulpix, Erica's Ivysaur, Misty's Starmie, and Sabrina's Gengar. So they're all the non-holographics. Obviously, Sabrina's Gengar holographic is very sought after. I don't know how much the non-holo's worth. Probably not that much. But that's those. Now, these definitely are the best cards in the set. We can see straight away from the bottom. This one at the bottom, it's not very well. It's got a lot of whitening on here, bit of dirt on there. But we have a Sabrina's Alakazam. Such a cool card. The front of it actually looks pretty good. There's not many holographic scratches or any print lines on there whatsoever. There is a nick at the top of the card there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bit of damage. Not really PSA worthy, but super good to have in the collection. The next one is, if I can pick it up, Giovanni's Machamp. Another very nice looking card. No scratches on the holo as far as I can see. The card is in super good condition all around it. The back has no whitening on whatsoever. Maybe a little nick, actually a little bit of whitening on the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that. Again, but super nice. One of my favourite cards, the Blaine's Trainer card. These holographics are super hard to get in PSA 10s because of all the holo foil on there. Now, looking at this one, there's not much scratching on the holographic whatsoever. The card is pretty pristine on the front, if I do say so myself. And on the back, there's no whitening whatsoever. That could be a super, super good card. It might not get a PSA 10 because there's probably underlining scratches on it that I can't see maybe just looking under this light. But I think it's a solid 9 for sure. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Followed by the Brock holographic. Again, another one that doesn't have many PSA 10s. This one wouldn't because there's scratching on the holo foil that I can see for sure in this light, unlike the Blaine's card. And there you are. Can you see those? And then the back. Back looks super good on this one as well. There's a bit of whitening at the top there, unfortunately, and a bit on the bottom down in the corner. But still a super good card to have. Blaine's Arcanine's next. This holo is super scratched. The card's not in fantastic condition compared to some of the cards in here. But yeah, still a very nice card to have in the collection. So do you see what I mean? Look how many holos this set has. And, you know, some of them are super expensive, especially in the PSA range as well. Lieutenant Surge Magneton, scratching on the holographic all over this one. But still, even if they've got scratches, they're still worth sending to PSA because even a PSA 7, 8, 9, 10 of these cards is still super valuable. A lot more valuable than it is not being in PSA. So this is just adding to my list of PSAs. Bit of whitening on the Magneton at the bottom there. Next card is the Lieutenant Surge's Electabuzz, one of my favourite cards. Again, a lot of holo foil on this one. Don't see a lot of scratches on it either, which is really good. A really good contender. And the back of the card is very nice. A little bit of whitening in the corner there, but that's about it. Now the big one. Rocket's Moltres, one of the most expensive cards in this set. Unfortunately, it is not the best. There's a mark here. I'm not sure if it's... Yep, so there you are. So you can see that the holographic has a lot of scratching on it all over. And there's a bit of a black dot up at the top of the card here, as you can see. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but I was just showing the Moltres, and the beauty of recording on your actual phone for these videos can obviously cut off the recording. So here we are. So I was just saying that here it looks really good on the back, but the front not so much. There's a bit of scratching, but this is probably one of the chase cards in the whole set. So, even in a probably 6 or a 7 PSA, it's probably going to be worth quite a bit. Okay, so looking at this card straight away from the back, there's a lot of whitening at the top, a lot of whitening around the edge and the back. And this is the Rockets Hitmonchan, probably one of the most popular holographics in the set. Holo looks good, but there's a few sort of thick scratches in there as well. So, they'll probably go into the pile of non-PSA worthy. But this one's my favourite card. I've posted this on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, check it out. Link I'll be in the description to that. It's the Giovanni's Nidoking. It's got a super, super nice swirl up the top here. And it is in super nice conditioning. Unfortunately, there is scratching on the holographic, so it's not a 10. It's not worthy of a 10. But, the actual card itself is very, very nice. For those of you that don't know, I don't know if some people are like this, but I have the ultimate chase card that I want in a PSA 10. That is the Crystal Nidoking. I want that card so much. It's worth like 1,500. I've seen one on eBay in the last 6 months. Couldn't afford it then. Still can't afford it now. But one day, I will be showing you guys my Crystal Nidoking PSA 10 that I get in my collection for sure. I love Nidoking. Okay, so this is the card that I mentioned at the beginning. This is the one that was on the top of the pile, the Misty's Tentacruel. So as you can see here, very nice condition. Holofoil does have scratches though, unfortunately. I think that's just going to be... I know I mention it every card, but it's just going to be the norm with how old these cards are. And obviously they weren't looked after super well. And there's a couple of whinings on the back. Right, the last two cards now. Another one, Misty's Golduck. A lot of people's favourite Pokemon is Golduck, which surprised me because I've never really liked it. Is that a weird thing to say? I've never really enjoyed Golduck as a Pokemon, but I you know what, as I get older and get more interested in these cards, some of the art for Golduck cards is super cool, so I understand where that comes from. Again, super nice condition. And the last card is a Koga's Beedrill. Holofoil is scratched. And yeah, but still super nice. So there you are. There's the super cheap vintage bundle that I actually got, which was a lot more than I actually thought I was getting. The good thing is I haven't bought these to sell, so I've not bought these as a profit. What I've done is I've bought these to keep. These are sitting in my collection. Some of them are going to go to PSA and they're going to sit in my collection, but this was never a buying for profit to sell kind of thing. This was me buying somebody's collection that they had, but I think what he'd done is just carried it. He just had them. He'd never thought about keeping them. It wasn't a hard decision for him to sell. He literally just realised, oh, I've got these old cards. They're worthless to me. So I've bought them and they're just going to sit in my collection. You could say it sit as a good investment, which they are sitting in as a good investment, but I bought them because I want these cards in my set. I'm going to continue buying more and more cards from friends and family. And hopefully we'll do more of these videos. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, as it does help out. Leave a comment and subscribe if you're new. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you next time. Peace.